Top of the morning, Raider Nation. I'm going to keep it short and sweet this morning, man. I'm so glad yesterday is over. Yesterday was a bad day. From a football standpoint, from a personnel standpoint. The necessary move was made yesterday at the end of the day in the firing of Paul Guenther. However, I'm not here to celebrate that, man. We're a losing team, man. We've lost 3 out of 4 games. Everybody was talking about how easy our schedule was after the 6-3 start. Once we get through the Chiefs, then it's going to get easier. Never think that professional sports is going to be easy. These are professionals, man. These are guys, these are people's careers. You name it, man. So there is nothing to celebrate about what happened yesterday. And that because a lot of people were celebrating Paul Guenther's being fired. Now, that just means the Raiders are wrong about Paul Guenther. That's what that means. That means John Gruden's saying I was wrong about hiring freaking Paul Guenther. And really, realistically, we know this is long overdue. It's too late. It's too late. So a lot of things yesterday that went down in the football game. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. After John Gruden in his press conference, man, you saw that look in his eye like somebody's getting canned, and it's going to be Paul Guenther. You see Jonathan Abram all over the place on the field, bad angles from the safety standpoint. Normally he takes good angles. I watched all of his college film, when they drafted him, man. He takes great angles. He's good in coverage. He's good at tracking the football. He runs a 4.4 speed. He could usually hang with receivers. I mean, T.Y. Hilton made him look silly on the first route. Couldn't even flip. He looked stiff out there, man. He looked like he didn't make the adjustment at all. Maybe he's a little banged up. But, Jonathan Abram is not following through with his assignment on the football field, and that's a lack of discipline, man. And there's a lot of things lacking on this team, man. You don't just lose 3 out of 4. I don't mean to call this team a losing team. I mean, they are 7-6, so they are 1 game above 500. So it's not as bad as I'm saying and I'm claiming it to be. But you can't have a spit and repeat mistake of what you did in 2019. You're 6-4 and you finished 7-9. You're 6-3 in 2020, and right now you're standing at 7-6. Now here I am looking at the Colts. They're 9-4 now. The Colts are 9-4, and they came to our house and beat the living crap out of us in a key game, man. This is a game where that's basically a playoff matchup, man. So is this what we would have looked like in the playoffs if we were to get that 7th seed and make the playoffs? Is this what we're going to look like in the playoffs? That's my question. So I know I put in the thumbnail, hopeful. Is the playoffs hopeful or hopeless? I'm an optimistic human being. I'm a hopeful human being. Optimism is in my DNA. I watch the complete game. When I go to games, I've been to many blowouts. I sit there and take it. I never leave a game early. It's pretty rare that I would leave a game early. So it's just something that's in my DNA. I know it's torture. It's insanity to sit there and watch your team get their ass kicked, but that's what I do. I just hang on to every little bit of hope, but I'm not going to get myself excited, and I'm not here to convince anybody that, hey, this team is going to do some damage these last 3 games, and they're going to make a playoff run. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this team needs to learn how to win. This team still needs to find their identity. And we can't be blaming. There should be no blame when it comes down to what's going on. This team, from the coaching staff and the players, they are to blame. I'm not blaming Paul Guenther for our problems, man. Paul Guenther, the firing of Paul Guenther, once again, the step in the right direction. Now, I want to follow up on one little report that came out today with the Las Vegas Review-Journal, is that Wade Phillips is interested. Now, I'm all for that. I love the 3-4 defense. If you really think about it, the last time the Raiders had a good defense was the 3-4 defense when they had Sam Adams. They signed a lot of veteran linebackers, guys like Bill Romanowski that came, old age, Rod Woodson, So, I mean, a 3-4 defense is something that has been long overdue to try out. I mean, we've tried this 4-3 thing forever, man. It just did not work with Del Rio, Ken Norton Jr., and you're seeing it with Paul Guenther and Rod Marinelli. I'm not going to be too optimistic on that. Maybe he makes some nice adjustments for this defense, but I'm not going to say that he's the ultimate end-all answer. Wade Phillips has the track record. Wade Phillips is a great fit. I think Wade Phillips would do a lot with this defense, to be honest with you. I think guys like Mo Hurst would just really come on the scene really strong, possibly a Cleveland Farrell even stronger, even though he might not be the complete prototype for his defense. But LaMarcus Joyner will go back to his natural position at free safety. You saw it yesterday. LaMarcus Joyner, dude, at nickel. You can put a smaller nickel back in there, but at the same time, when you're compensating for the loss of a linebacker once you go to that nickel, and LaMarcus Joyner just could not fight off a defender, and he was getting blocked. I mean, that's why they racked up rushing yards. He was getting his clock cleaned out there. So once again, and a lot of that has to do with scheme. I'm not saying that LaMarcus Joyner's a scrub at nickel. He just doesn't look like he's a good fit, and Gunther just never seemed to figure that out. And then at times when they put him at free safety, he looked a lot better, and it's like, dude, but anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But my point being is that it's like he just did not make the adjustments, period, in general, but especially in that was what really exposed Gunther yesterday, in my opinion. That's what got him fired, I think. Really, realistically, I mean, even the back-to-back. I mean, you're facing the 0-11 Jets at the time. That, by the way, they are 0-13 now, and that team ran for 200 yards against us, and we barely beat that team. So once again, nothing easy on the NFL schedule. I never liked that mentality. Everything is a sense of urgency in the NFL. The NFL is a game of inches, man. We all know. We play fantasy sports, man. I mean, I was a number 2 seed in my fantasy team. I lost by a 14th of a point. And here I am, barely hanging on in the first round of the playoffs because, my team tanked yesterday. But I'm just saying, it's a game of inches, man. Nothing is easy. Oh, look, you're projected this many points. You're favored by this many points. I mean, we went into this game yesterday underdogs, and boy, did they really cover the spread. So it's like, I mean, what an absolute disaster, man. And it just, once again, man, I have nothing to celebrate. Like I said, some news today, it's just optimism based on, Wade Phillips saying he's interested, Paul Gunther getting fired last night, just little steps in the right direction. Our offense still needs work, guys. I mean, Derek Carr has improved. Derek Carr has been solid, but he's not great. Somehow we can't turn the football over. I'm not blaming Derek Carr for the interception. I'm not blaming him for things. But what I'm saying is we're not getting the job done. We're average. We're not good enough. We're just not good enough, man. We've improved, but we're not good enough, man. You got to be elite. I want to see, more leadership on this team. It's like this team really lacks leadership, and we need it within players on this team. We need players to be leaders on this team. When you have real leaders in the locker room, man, you get a real difference on the field because players are holding each other accountable. And, like Ray Lewis would get his defense ready, man. I mean, just get his defense ready. When they were a wild card team a few years back when they had Flacco, man, I said it on I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning, man. We're eating their pancakes right there by the door, or by the TV, dude. And I'm like, dude, look, I'm all mentality right there. I'm all Ray Lewis. They're going to win a Super Bowl. I said just like that. I go, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And remember, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos looked unstoppable that year. And they did what they needed to do, and they got it done because it's a game of inches. You never know. You just never know in this league. And a lot of us talk about the process of becoming a good football team or a great football team. And the process might just lead you to average. The point that I'm at with our franchise and what we've endured is I think we need to flip the script, and it needs to change overnight. We need to see something in these next 3 games. I stressed this last year in 2019. Give me something in these last 3 games. Rip off 3 straight wins and go 10-6. If you don't make the playoffs at 10-6, I can totally respect that. If you go 10-6, that's winning, man. You went 10-6. I can't say nothing to that. But if you go 7-9, what am I gonna say about that? What am I gonna say about 7-9 again? And you did it, and you repeated what you did the last year. So that's my thing with this football team. The firing was necessary. It might create that spark. They got a tough test ahead on Thursday night against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Man, that guy played to win last time we played him. Man, it came all the way down to the wire. He came up short in the end zone at the end to win the game. Almost looked like he won it a couple times, man. But, Isaiah Johnson in the clutch, man, just a game of inches, remember, man. But anyway, I'm a little bit all over the place today, man. But we'll just talk quick stats, man. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, man, 20 carries, 150 yards, rookie running back, 2 touchdowns. Exposed us yesterday, man. T.Y. Hilton, man, he's come onto the scene. 2 touchdowns as well. Derek Carr looked really good in the first half. I mean, he threw some bullets out there, man. Really impressed with some of his throws, but once again, the offense meltdown on offense. We get outscored in the second half, 24-13. Not good enough. We turned the football over 3 times, man. And I know this guy Kenny Moore Jr. Kenny Moore the second, just played out of his mind, dude. I know that was a sick interception, one-handed interception, but That guy played out of his mind, but where did that guy come from? You know what I mean? Like, this guy just came out of nowhere, dude, and just shellacked us, man. And he played to win, man. He stepped up for his team, and that's what we need on our side, man. We need our guys to step up, and our defense just, like I said, Trayvon Mullen, I'd never seen him play such a bad. I mean, I've probably saw Trayvon Mullen play his worst football game yesterday. He didn't look good out there at all. Yeah, man. So anyway, I just don't, I didn't really go through the stats today or anything. We know what it was yesterday. We know what we saw. We know what needs to happen. It just comes down to winning football games, changing the mentality. And I'll kind of end it with this, man, is I think, man, from what I can see, and I'm hoping for the best, man, I'm hoping Gruden gets a newfound energy, but I see a drained John Gruden. I see a mentally, it looked like Gruden's just kind of broke down a little bit mentally. It looks like to me that he just looked a little worn out, a little like he doesn't have all the answers. He's a little short with the media. It's been a long 3 years for John Gruden. I know he stepped into a big role, man. I got a lot of us fans excited. I support John Gruden. I support anybody in Raider uniform right now, man. It's really all about the greater good of the franchise. But John Gruden, man, I just saw a little fatigue out of that guy, man, right now, man, and I'm hoping he finds his win, man, because like I said, and I'm not trying to pile on him, but in the NFL is not an easy job, especially a head coaching position, especially when you're a known guy like John Gruden and you're trying to fix what you're trying to bring back what you started 20 years ago. So I respect that. I mean, gutted the team, traded Khalil Mack, took slack from the media for that. He was under media fire for a couple years, and then all of a sudden they and that's what the media does, man. They'll jump in your corner. Here's the media, man. I think I said this before. They're going to build you up, and they're going to break you down. They're going to build you up and break you down. That's their game, man. That's what they like to do. And he knows that. A lot of these guys know that, but we as fans, we just got to know that, that with John Gruden, man, like that he needs to get rock star support, and they got the young core of players, but he's going to need a Wade Phillips. He's going to need a good defensive coordinator. He might even need a new offensive coordinator. There are going to be other things they're going to need to play out just to complete this team. We see an improvement on special teams. We've seen a major improvement on offense. And sorry, my phone's ringing, so I'm just looking at the phone. But I apologize about that, man. Phone was ringing, dude, like 3 calls in a row right there. So, but anyway, I'm going to close this one out, man. And we'll drop a live stream Thursday, 10:30 a.m., game day versus the Chargers. They're going to be traveling to Vegas for another home game for the Raiders, man. Let's see if they can get things something going, man. Win 2 straight at home to close out your home season and make some sort of statement, not just to the league, but to yourself in the locker room that, hey, we're going to win games at home regardless if there's fans or not. We got to somehow establish that mentality because we only won 2 games at home. Out of 6 games, we've only won 2 games at home. And, you think about if they could just took care of some business at home, this team would be in a lot better shape right now. We'd probably be over 8-9 wins right now, which would feel really good. 9-4 would feel great right now. 8-5 would feel great right now. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this, man. It's a little fuzzy today, man, and a lot more news is going to probably come out, so you're going to probably see a lot more stuff break today. There's going to be a lot of rumors. There's going to be a lot of speculation because the Raiders, man, they're not talking playoffs right now. They're talking about a new defensive coordinator, and they're talking about the offseason. So I'm Raider Dave, man. I'll catch you guys again. I'm out. Peace.